Welcome back to the Snowpoint Cast. Today we're going to be watching a versus episode between myself on the left and Trevor Read on the right. Classic two guys playing Pokemon. I'm going to be playing Gyarados today, and Trevor's going to be playing Luxape. Kind of an interesting matchup. The decks lists have shifted a lot from 2009. The list that we're using, I think that they're much more updated, much more powerful. The Luxape list in particular is playing a 3-1 Luxray line, which I think is really good in that deck, and as well as like I think we're playing 4 Power Spray as well, just because Power Spray is really good too. And the Gyarados list has been updated as well. It's just playing better cards, plus power, and a couple other cards that are just better instead of like Claydol and Call Energy and stuff. So we flip. I'm going to start a Regice to Trevor's Luxray. Not the optimal starter, literally your worst starter for Gyarados, but there's a ton of switch outs in the deck. This list in particular is kind of tech towards Flygon, so I do have a lot of switching cards that I can hopefully hit a Sableye this turn with a switching card and a Sableye. There's a lot of outs that I have. So yeah, I'm going to go for a Roseanne here. Could get Sableye and something else. Probably going to get Sableye and a Carp. Makes sense. Yeah, Sableye and a Magikarp. That makes a lot of sense. I was playing Dark Energy in this list a while ago. I don't think Dark is great, but I switched it for an unknown Q, and Q has just been... I've been getting lots of utility out of Q. I think Q is really solid in this deck. In 2009, I mean, obviously it's good in 2010, but even in 2009, there are situations where you can afford to get something else off your Roseannes, and that can be a Q. Especially when, like, everything but Regice. I should have... I don't know if I should have benched Sableye here. I was kind of afraid of getting knocked out. And, like, the thing is, he needs Trip, like, Crobat to kill me here. It's possible, but very unlikely. So you keep the Sableye just because the odds that he has, like, Luxray Energy E-Gain is, like, much more, especially because the deck plays, like, 4 E-Gain. And you just don't want to get your, like, Sableye that you just searched for knocked out, because then you're at a Regice and you don't have a Sableye on your board. At least next turn, if I have, like, a switching out or I can draw into switching out, then maybe I have something that I can do. So Trevor's got some stuff in his hand. He's got the E-Gain. He's got the Premier Ball for the Luxray GL level X. This list, we also put in a second Premier Ball. I think Premier Ball is also so good, especially when like you run a 3-1 of the Luxray and then a 2-1 of the Infernape. Getting back your Infernapes can be a big deal. Like, and you only run 1 Aaron's Collection, so the recovery that Premier Ball provides is also pretty good. So Trevor's gonna go for Roseanne's research of his own here. Really depends on what his hand. I think he's definitely gonna get a Lightning and maybe another Luxray. That makes a lot of sense. I like that because then it makes your Poke turns live as soon as you have a Luxray level X, Lightning, and an Energy Gain. You can just start chaining them if you have a bunch of Poke turns in a row, and that can be really threatening on a board that's not set up, which mine is not very set up at all right now. Usually, optimally, you want to start Sableye. It's unfortunate that it didn't happen this game, but at least I have in my hand. What are you gonna do? So Trevor's going to bench a Luxray and a Bronzong, and he's got the Lightning Gain as well, and he does have the option to find that level X, so he could Flash Impact this turn. He doesn't really need to, though. You want to, and I think that's a very wise decision, holding on to that. He doesn't need to overextend and use, like, Evolve to do 20 more damage, because he's going to 2-shot anyway, so he may as well just bite and then hit the level X next turn if he needs to do that. And it's a great play by him because it means he gets to hold the level X. So I'm going to bench a Sableye and Roseanne's again. So I got that 1 Carp in my hand. I'm probably going to get like maybe 2 other Carps with this Roseanne's. That means my Felicities can be, if I can get the Sableye into the active, I can Felicities for 4 and get 2 Magikarps in the discard. And then with that Regice there, I can get all my Magikarps into the discard right away, which is super clutch versus this deck. I think you have to start swinging really early to have a good shot against Luxape. If you don't, Luxape can just quickly they can go up like a 2-prize lead and then just start trading prizes with you the rest of the game. It's definitely possible because they hit you for lightning weakness. So yeah, I'm gonna use Regimove, and I think this is a great call too because it means that he has to hit, he has to Bright Look with this one, and then doesn't give him the option to just go Bright Look attack. He has to find some kind of switching out, and that can just be an energy attach. But even wasting an energy attached to a treat is worth it with the Regimove, and I'm getting my Carps into the discard. So bench a Carp and then Uxie for 2. Yeah, not amazing, but I mean the cards that we got were okay. Crobat is decent. You do need to have some kind of damage modifier to be able to knock out the Luxray GL level X. Just because it's got 110 HP and you hit 90 if you have all your Magikarps in the discard, and you do need 1 Crobat ping and a plus power or 2 plus power to be able to one shot that. So Trevor's gonna go for a Cyrus Conspiracy here. It's got a lot of options with this. That's the thing about this card. It's such a complicated card because based on his hand and everything, it's like he's got so many different options. Like each time you have to make 3 decisions, so it's a lot to think about. It's probably gonna get another lightning energy, just because Trash Bolt is a pretty big deal in this matchup. Yeah, there we go. Power Spray and Cyrus. I like that a lot, actually. So yeah, Trash Bolt can be a really big deal in this matchup because if you can get a Lucario GL out, your weakness on Gyarados is ×2 instead of +30. And then with the 70 ×2, it lets you hit 140 and Gyarados has 130 HP. So it's just a really clutch number to hit. I mean, you could do it with a Flash Impact and a Crobat as well, but being forced to hit that Crobat instead of just hitting the energy, like you get to search for energy with so many cards in the deck. And not so much being able to search the other thing. The Crobat. I mean, you can search the Crobat, but like it's just like finding energy is much easier because you play a lot more of it, and you play like 1 Crobat too. So Trash Bolt's a great part of this matchup. Trevor's going to Premier Ball, and probably he might be able to hit the... Oh yeah, so he's going to go for the level X here. And a Bright Look on the active means that, you know, he's got a couple options. He could Bright Look the active and then Free Retreat on the Luxray level X, attach, and then Trash Bolt and hit something with a Trash Bolt knockout. He also could just bite the Magikarp. That's not a bad idea. It's not amazing, though, because that means it puts another Magikarp in my discard, which is pretty clutch for me, and it means that I just need to hit Broken Time Space, another Magikarp, and a Gyarados, then I'm attacking for 90, and I can potentially just knock him out. So yeah, he's going to go for the bring up on the Sableye. I think that's pretty good. Oh, and he's got just another Gain and another Lightning. There you go. So, I mean, that's why you play 4 Gain, because you don't even have to worry about retreating. You can just hit the energy on the active this turn. So he gets the knockout on that Sableye, super clutch. But I do have some Magikarps in discard. Oh, and I rip a Magikarp off the top of my deck. What a god tier top deck. Just being able to, you know, even if doesn't matter if I have the Felicities because I can just Regice it this turn. He could Power Spray me. He did get a Power Spray, so that might be his Power Spray target. It could be okay here to give him the board position, but even just goes for the Power Spray. That makes a lot of sense, just because you really don't want to have that last Magikarp in there, just otherwise you get one shot. Like I definitely have the one shot in my hand here, so I mean it doesn't matter because I still have the Felicities drawing, so I'm still going to do what I want this turn, but definitely would have rathered maybe to be able to use another supporter this turn. I think I see go for Felicities there. Discard. Is that a Bucks? Yeah, Bucks and a Magikarp. Yeah, discarding that Bucks. I don't know about that. I really needed to hit the Gyarados here, and I missed it. But yeah, I mean, whatever. Discarding the Bucks isn't that big of a deal. It's just that, like, again, those damage modifiers, the more you can keep in your deck, the easier this matchup gets, because then you just go, oh, Bucks, draw 2 cards. Oh, I drew a Crobat. Cool, I'm killing a Luxray in one shot pretty consistently. So I'm going to go for a damage drop on the Luxray GL level X with a Crobat. I'll Flash Bite it for 10. I don't really know what I'm doing this turn. I don't really have much of an option. So I'm going to warp the Magikarp, chuck an Uxie active, and then just pray that he doesn't have a Poké turn. And he got a Cyrus, so if that's an option that he wants to go with, it's definitely an option that he has. Yeah, Trevor's just like, he's chilling pretty hard right now. He's got a pretty set up board. He's up a prize. Anytime you can go up a prize against Gyarados, it's decent, because if they get to that point where they're just trading you, hopefully you can just trade them back, and then if you can, you just win the game. So yeah, Trevor's he's got some stuff to do. I would probably start thinking about building like an Infernape at this point, because you can drop some like ping damage counters on some other stuff, or not ping, but having that ability to just like force the Gyarados out of the active, because if you do have a knockout with Luxray, that's great. If you have a knockout with Bright Look, that's also great, but I mean, you're limited to 4 Poké turns and 1 Luxray GL in the deck, so he's gonna go for a Crobat. Interesting. So being able to, have that Infernape level X to force your opponent to switch just means that usually the stuff on the bench you're able to kill. And if you're in a position like this where you're up a prize, if you get that out, you can just be like, I'm not gonna deal with this Gyarados. You can knock me out as much as you want, but as long as I have the Pokemon recovery, it doesn't matter, So he's gonna go for a Cyrus again this turn. Chaining Cyrus is so good. Curious what he's gonna get. Probably gonna go for like a Poké turn. Because he's got a bat, so he has the option to just KO the Uxie this turn if he wants, and then having a Poké turn is decent as well. The thing about 1 damage, it's so tricky, because it's like, sure, it's a investment that I made. Oh, so he's gonna go for Aaron's SP Radar and a Fire. The investment that I made was the like single damage drop on the Luxray, and it's like using a Poke turn to heal that is a pretty big like use of a Poke turn, but also it's just one less thing that I need to hit in my hand, right? Like I don't have to worry about it getting power sprayed anymore because he used the power spray on the Regice that turn, so I did get to do that. And it kind of like messes with him a little bit, you know. It's like I'm gonna only need one damage modifier, so it can just be a Bucks this turn, or it can be another Crobat, or it can be a Poke turn. So yeah, interesting get from Trevor. He's gonna go for the second attach on the Luxray. I do like that. He's setting up a Trash Bolt, ping the active, hit it for 10 with a Flash Bite, and then he's gonna be able to Flash Impact it this turn. Super solid turn from Trevor. I mean, he goes up 2 prizes. He's doing pretty good this game. And he's got a Luxray on the bench with 2 energy as well and an energy gain. It means that as soon as this one gets knocked out, even if I'm able to find the KO here, he can just go SP Radar, find a Lucario GL, and then hit me with that Trash Bolt knockout. So definitely a clutch play from him. And I do find that plus power. Drop the broken time space because there's no other stadiums. We had a Sunny Shore gym in there, but it's just like not as good as other cards we thought. So we dumped it. And yeah, I'm gonna go for a Cynthia's Feelings. Got knocked out, so I'm gonna get to shuffle draw 8, and I really need to find that Gyarados this turn. It's kind of nice that I already have the plus power, but it'll be a waste if I'm not able to find this Dose. I do have a lot of outs. I mean, the deck plays 2 Luxury Balls, and I haven't used either one yet, as well as 3 Gyarados. So we'll see what we can draw here. It's very possible that I hit Gyarados off this. It's also possible that I whiff, and then I'm in a pretty bad position. So you're going to go for a draw of 8. Not in there. 7. There's a Luxury Ball. There it is. Nice. So yeah, going to Luxury Ball for a Gyarados, and then take the fresh KO on this Luxray. Unfortunately, Trevor does have that other one set up in the back, so we're just going to start swinging at each other now. Taking some prizes. So I'm going to shuffle draw 8. And take this KO. I don't know where I think I must have not played the Luxury Ball. I don't know where it went. Because I played this. Oh, no, because I discarded it before this Feelings. I probably just have another one in my hand. Or that's a plus power and I'm misseeing a card. So yeah, Trevor promotes the Luxray. I mean, he must have the energy in hand already if he's not promoting the Crobat. He's already got the Lucario in hand, so it's very likely. And he does have that fire in hand. So he's going to go drop the Lucario, and Trevor's going to get the knockout here as well. I do have a Pokemon Rescue I did see in that hand, so at least I'm going to be able to get the Magikarp back. If I got a Bebe Search or like a Time Space Distortion, I might be able to get a Gyarados back as well. Time Space Distortion would actually be really clutch here because there's been a lot of stuff knocked out that I wouldn't mind getting back. Like there's Sableye, Magikarp, and Gyarados after I got knocked out here. So I can hit triple heads and still be like... The only thing that Time Space Distortion you have to be kind of careful about is taking Magikarps out of your discard if you don't have a way to discard them again. So yeah, Trevor's going to bench another Luxray and go for an Aaron's Collection, go for the Luxray GL level X and Lightning Energy. Really solid call from Trev. And probably going to attach that Lightning to the Luxray so that if he wants to next turn, he can go Energy, or he doesn't even need the Energy. He can just go E-Gain, level X, and then Poketurn the Crobat, and then ping the active, and then hit for ×2, which is 120 with a 10 is a knockout on the Gyarados. That's another option you have in this matchup against Gyarados. And so yeah, he's going to go for the Trash Bolt here, knocking out the Gyarados. Solid call from Trev. And I just ripping cards off the top of my deck this game. Oh my goodness. And I just hit it so hard. Hit that Gyarados off the top of the deck. 2 heads on the Time Space is really clutch. I'm going to get a Gyarados and a Magikarp. It means I get to hold that other Gyarados in my hand until it gets knocked out. And I have a Pokemon Rescue as well. There's not really a ton of hand disruption in this format. So that's one of the reasons I think Gyarados is such a good deck, is like you can just stack an absolutely fat hand with like Roseanne's Research and Felicity's Drawings, and then like your opponent can't really do anything about it, which is, especially in this position, like even if I get KO'd, I'm getting the counter KO, so it doesn't really matter what Trev has here. And the tide of the game is, you know, I'm at 4 prizes and Trev's at 3, but the tide of the game is kind of shifted because I've taken a ton of energy off his board. And even if Trev can hit, you know, he hit his errands already, but even if he can hit like Night Maintenance and then some other stuff, it's just like, I don't know if he'll be able to make this guy back, but he does find the E-Gain, which is really clutch, and he's going to go for a Bebe Search. So that's the 3rd Luxray out. So he's going to have to find a Night Maintenance or start attacking with Infernape, which is not the optimal attacker in this matchup. Just because you do 100 and you don't really have an ability to one-shot. You can take some prizes on the bench Pokemon, but you hit for Water Weakness pretty hard. It's just a easy KO if you have 2 Carps in the discard. It's the one threat, but it is good to have like a Infernape in the late game. The thing is, Trevor just like wasn't able to get as many energy on the board as he would have liked. He was getting an attach like every turn, but still, Gyarados is just like so threatening that it's like, I don't need energy. I just need to find the Pokemon. Like, you have to hit E-Gain and you have to hit this energy and you have to hit the level X, and I just need to hit like 2 Pokemon. And I play tons of recovery, so it's like, it's kind of interesting in this matchup. And he's going to go for the ping here, and he does get the KO, so finding the knockout here. That Gyarados top deck is actually so clutch now that I think about it. If I didn't top deck that Gyarados, I might have been in kind of a suspect position here, but we top deck those, baby. And he's going to go for the call attach on the Lucario. I do like that. Getting an attachment on your board means that if you need it on something else, you can just Bronzong it and then move it somewhere else if you need it. If you need to attack with a Luxray or something else and you just need a colorless. So wise by Trevor to put that at least somewhere on the board. I'm going to take the KO here. Yeah, smart on the Crobat, because you're much more likely to turn that. So I'm going to go for a Pokemon Rescue. Find the Magikarp. Evolve into the Gyarados. Broken Time Space is insane. And double plus power, which is like such a good hand. Wow, I just have like everything that I need this game. Which is kind of funny because I didn't even set up with Sableye. Like, I just had a lot of good cards in my hand already. Take the KO with a double plus power. So this is kind of where Trev is in. He's in a bit of a weird position. I like that. The promote with the Uxie, it means that he's gonna Psychic Restore me and then hit me with something else next turn. It just makes the KO a little bit easier, so he doesn't need that Crobat ping. The thing about Gyarados, though, is it does play super scoop up, so if you do ever try to damage a Gyarados and just leave the damage there, Gyarados does have that option to just heal up, potentially, because Broken Time Space. So yeah, Trevor's going to go for the Premier Ball. Oh, he might find the Ooks level X, too. I think that might not be a bad idea. I mean, I do just one-shot it again, but any damage is damage. Especially when you're in a position like this. Like, he doesn't have a ton else left on his board. So, yeah, he's going to go for the Uxie level X. I do like that. It's kind of his best option here. He's going to Bronzong the call and then hit me with a Zenblade for 60, which means that... it means that next turn he's able to... For 60, yeah, it means that next turn if he has the Night Maintenance, he can, like, Night Maintenance back a Luxray and then find it, attach, Energy Gain, and Bite for 60, which is with a Crobat ping knocks out. So that's interesting numbers here, and that's probably what his like long game is looking like, is to have this turn, let this die, and then come back the next turn and then hope that I don't have the recovery. And I'm just looking through the discard here. He does have like a 3-1 Luxray line. 1 Luxray there. There's 2. Yeah, so he hasn't used the Night Maintenance yet. Still got to find that. He does go for the Infernape, though. He's going to drop an Infernape. Infernape's another interesting option, because as soon as he kills this Gyarados, like I said, Infernape forces the Intimidating Roar is what the ability's called. It just like forces your opponent to switch. So when I have like a 60 HP Regice and a 80 HP Crobat on the bench, that just gets knocked out by Infernape pretty easy. So definitely a good late game option. If he's able to get the KO on this Gyarados, then if he finds that Infernape and some energy on it, then he'll be able to take his last prize. So he's kind of just setting up his game here. Got a solid late game plan. I mean, it's very possible that Trevor can get there. He does have that Energy Gain. So he's going to drop Gain on the Monkey and go for a setup. I think he's going to draw like 5, which is pretty decent. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, setup 5. Decent. So he's got Call, Infernape level X, Crobat, Roseanne's, and another Call. So not bad. I mean, your attachments are okay. You really would have preferred some fire there, but at least he's got an attachment for next turn. And he does have that Crobat as well. So, he's definitely got some stuff. Oh, another... No, I can't do that. I was going to say another option that he has is a double Zenblade turn, because you can like use 2 different Uxies, but that's not a thing because he doesn't have enough energy on the board. But if he had another energy, that would have been a thing where you can just like move, attach this turn, and then move, attach the next turn with the Crobat ping would have knocked out. So that's kind of an interesting part about Premier Ball that I think is really cool, is you just got to keep attacking with level X's, which in a deck like this is really good. So yeah, I got a fair amount of resources discarded, and I don't have a massive hand anymore because I did use a decent amount, those double plus powers and stuff, but definitely a sizable hand. Like, it's looking like 7 cards at least, so at least I got something to work with. And Trevor's going to go for the fire attach on the Infernape. He's actually just going to sack this Uxie, which I think I like better. Sacking the Uxie makes a little bit more sense, just because you don't want to risk that super scoop up flip. I think that's kind of foolish. And I do see the super scoop up in my hand too, so, kind of a dicey play that I was talking about. That would have been the like very very aggro big balls play, but not the one Trevor goes for very wisely. So gonna go for the poke turn on the Crobat. Definitely interesting. It kind of opens my options up. I don't have to worry about the Crobat getting knocked out for a prize. I can force him to KO this Gyarados and then a Regice, because that's the only thing I'm really afraid of here is just him, like, because if he's got a prize next turn and then the turn after, then I lose. But if I can stop him from taking prizes for at least 2 turns, then I will probably be the victor. And scooping up that Crobat is the first step to that, I think. I'm going to Baby Search for a Gyarados as well, so I think I have the Rescue in my hand. So all I have to really do here is just not get KO'd, which I don't think is going to happen. I don't think he's going to be able to KO this Gyarados. He needs, like, Bat Drop, double Poke turn. Well, I guess it's actually possible. Yeah. He needs, like, triple Poke turn this turn. I think he's already used 2, though, so I don't think it's... I don't think he's going to get there on the Gyarados, at least. I mean, he has the level X, and the level X is for retreat, so I don't know why you wouldn't just promote the level X. Because you don't know what you're going to top. Like, you might top the maintenance, but you never know. Yeah, I don't know. Crobat promote seems kind of wrong for me instead of the Infernape promote. I'm pretty sure it's got for retreat. I'm like 90% sure. If I'm wrong, then somebody call me out in the comments. Yeah, so Trevor's going to go for a Cyrus Conspiracy. Yeah, he's got some options here. He does already have the level X, so he could get a Power Spray. Not that he really needs anything. The thing about Regice, it's so busted too, is if he doesn't kill it, then like, even if he finds like a Luxray level X in the active next turn, not this turn, but next turn, then like I can just Reggie move him, and if he doesn't have a Power Spray, then I just kill whatever's on his bench. So Gyarados is so good. Like, you can tech against Luxape in this meta. Like, you can tech like AMU, so he goes for a Cyrus. Like, you can tech the AMU, like Mesprit and the other Azelf, the downer material Azelf, but I just don't think you need it against this deck. I think the matchup's like entirely fine. Like, Trevor was leading on prizes by 2, and now like look where the board's at. The board is pretty advantageous for me right now, even though Trevor had that relatively hefty lead. And I'm not playing the counter in this list at all. So he's going to go for a Fire and a Poke turn. I do like that. He better have the other 2 Poke turns in his hand. Otherwise, he's not going to be able to KO this Gyarados this turn, which is pretty bad news bears. Really not what you want to see. You want to force your opponent to have the Pokemon recovery every time, just so that they can maybe have a turn of whiffing, and then you get to go up on energy attachments. But Gyarados is really good at recovering Pokemon. Definitely plays a lot of Pokemon recovery cards. Yeah, I don't know if attacking with the Infernape here is even a, but he like has to. I think you probably just got to kill the Regice, which sucks because you just lose all your attachments. But yeah, it's all you can really do at this point. So he's gonna promote that Infernape. Oh, and he does have the second attach on the Lucario still, which is kind of clutch. So he can get a free attachment somewhere, which means he can maybe, like, one of the ways he can get back is, like, Night Maintenance, the Luxray, find the Luxray, Galactic Switch, the Call Energy from the Lucario onto the Luxray, attach Lightning, attach Energy Gain, and then potentially take the game that way, because he can just Trash Bolt if he's got another energy in his hand. So, I mean, Trevor definitely, he's still got enough to win at this game, and he just needs to find that Night Maintenance so that he can get that Luxray back. It's really important this turn. And he keeps the call on the Lucario. I do like that. Don't need to overinvest, especially when this Infernape is definitely going to die next turn. So he's going to go for the Fire Spin on the Regice. Definitely good to be able to take a prize. And he does still have an option to win next turn. Like I said, that Trash Bolt option is definitely a thing that could happen. He's got to hit some cards first. Like, he's got to find his Night Maintenance really bad. But it's definitely a thing that could happen for sure. He needs like one, I don't know how many cards he's got in his hand, but he needs like he needs the Luxray. It's looking relatively thick, so he's got another E-Gain potentially. Like, he definitely has the Cyrus, so he can find the E-Gain and he can find the energy. He just needs to have like another energy, so he's got one energy. Just checking to see the top deck, not the maintenance. Really unfortunate here. I mean, I think Trevor even has the Bebe Search in hand. No, it's a Roseanne. Actually, no, it's a Cyrus too. Yeah. No, it doesn't have Bebe. just Poke Turns and Power Sprays and stuff. Not the cards that will find you. Oh, he does have a Roseanne though. So like if he topped the Night Maintenance, he could Roseanne, which is pretty clutch. Yeah. So he's gonna Cyrus. Doesn't have. I guess the Night Maintenance is not there. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Third card in. The Lightning was clutch, but the Night Maintenance was more clutch. So yeah, definitely a good game there between myself and Trevor. Between Luxape and Gyarados. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time.